Gate 5. Truth, finding the voice that was buried beneath fear. Once the heart begins beating in coherence, something remarkable starts happening. The conflict inside grows quieter. The constant arguments between fear and truth begin losing their intensity. The nervous system no longer feels the same urgency to defend itself. The authentic self has become more familiar than the mask. Then another question naturally arises. Perhaps the most confronting question yet. Will I live my truth or continue living my performance? This is the work of the fifth gate. It is the gate of expression. Not simply the words we speak, but the frequency with which we live. Most people believe communication begins with the mouth. It does not. Communication begins long before words. Your nervous system speaks. Your posture speaks. Your eyes speak. Your breathing speaks. Your choices speak. Your boundaries speak. Your silence speaks. Long before another person hears your voice, they are already responding to your field. The body cannot hide what the psyche is carrying. You may smile, yet your nervous system may still be communicating fear. You may say you forgive someone, yet your body still contracts whenever their name is mentioned. You may tell the world you are confident, yet your actions quietly reveal hesitation. The fifth gate understands a simple truth. The universe does not respond primarily to what we say. It responds to what we consistently embody. Words matter. Embodiment transforms. If the first gate asked, "Am I safe?" The second, "Is it safe to feel?" The third, "Who am I?" The fourth, "Can I love all that I am?" The fifth now asks, "Can I express what is true?" This sounds simple. For many people it feels terrifying, because somewhere in childhood, truth became associated with danger. Perhaps speaking honestly created punishment. Perhaps expressing emotion caused ridicule. Perhaps asking for needs resulted in rejection. Perhaps saying no was interpreted as disrespect. The nervous system remembered. Truth became unsafe. Silence became survival. The child adapted. The adult inherited the adaptation. One of the greatest energy leaks occurs whenever we repeatedly silence ourselves. Every truth that remains unspoken requires energy to contain. Imagine trying to hold a beach ball beneath water. The effort never ends. Many people spend decades holding back tears, holding back opinions, holding back boundaries, holding back dreams, holding back grief, holding back love, holding back their authentic voice. Eventually, exhaustion follows, not because life is demanding, because suppression is. The fifth gate gently asks, how much of your life force is being spent maintaining silence? This gate governs communication, authenticity, creativity, integrity, and resonance. Notice the last word carefully. Resonance. Everything in creation resonates. A tuning fork vibrates. A string vibrates. The nervous system vibrates. Human beings constantly transmit patterns. Fear resonates. Peace resonates. Integrity resonates. So does deception. Many people attempt to convince others through argument. Truth rarely requires force. Truth carries coherence. People often feel it before they understand it. This is why authentic people feel different to be around. Not because they possess perfect knowledge, because they no longer divide themselves internally. Their words, actions, and values begin pointing in the same direction. This is resonance. One of the deepest forms of dishonesty is not lying to others. It is lying to ourselves. Pretending we are happy when we are not. Pretending relationships are healthy when they are draining us. Pretending resentment is forgiveness. Pretending busyness is purpose. Pretending achievement is worth. The psyche becomes extraordinarily skilled at self-deception. Not from malice, from protection. Because seeing truth often requires changing our lives. And change threatens the nervous system. So the mind creates stories, excuses, justifications, anything to preserve familiarity. The fifth gate quietly removes these disguises, not harshly, patiently, until reality becomes easier to face than illusion. Many people ask, how do I find my authentic voice? The answer surprises them. You do not find it. You uncover it. Your authentic voice has never disappeared. It has simply been buried beneath years of fear, conditioning, and adaptation. Think back to childhood. Before constant comparison, before criticism, before trying to fit in. Children speak what they see. They ask uncomfortable questions. They laugh loudly. They cry openly. They create without permission. The authentic voice already existed. Healing removes what silenced it. This gate also governs listening, not merely hearing words. Listening to yourself, to your body, to your intuition, to the quiet whisper beneath mental noise. Many spend their entire lives listening outward. The opinions of others, the expectations of society, the endless commentary of culture. Eventually, the inner voice becomes almost inaudible, not because it stopped speaking, because external noise became louder. The fifth gate restores inner listening. Only then can outer speech become authentic. One of the most transformative practices within this gate is radical congruence. Ask yourself throughout the day, do my actions reflect what I claim to believe? Do my relationships honor my values? Do my words match my behavior? Am I saying yes while my body is screaming no? Every small act of congruence strengthens the upward current. Every small compromise weakens it. This is why integrity generates energy. There is no internal argument, nothing to remember, nothing to defend. Truth organizes the entire system. From an ion perspective, the throat is not merely producing sound. It is shaping reality. Every repeated word becomes instruction to the nervous system. Consider how often people unknowingly hypnotize themselves. I'm hopeless. I'm broken. I'll never change. Nothing ever works. My anxiety is who I am. The nervous system faithfully accepts repetition. Not because these statements are true, because repetition gradually becomes programming. Likewise, conscious truth also becomes programming. I am learning safety. I am no longer abandoning myself. My past informed me, but does not define me. I choose truth over familiarity. These are not empty affirmations. They become new neurological pathways when consistently embodied. The nervous system slowly begins believing what experience repeatedly confirms. There is another truth hidden within this gate. Speech is only one form of expression. Your entire life becomes your voice. The way you spend your time, the people you choose, the boundaries you establish, the work you create, the compassion you extend, everything speaks. Some people rarely talk about love, yet every action communicates it. Others constantly speak about truth, yet their lives reveal contradiction. The fifth gate reminds us that authenticity is always louder than language. Many people fear speaking truth because they believe it will create conflict. Sometimes it will. Not because truth is violent, because illusion often resists being disturbed. When one person begins healing, every relationship changes. Some deepen, some quietly fall away, some reveal themselves, others strengthen beyond expectation. This is natural. Healing reorganizes the entire field. Those aligned with authenticity remain. Those dependent upon your old identity often struggle. This is not failure. It is clarification. The river cannot continue upward while continually flowing backward. There is tremendous freedom in no longer performing, no longer rehearsing conversations, no longer pretending, no longer constantly editing yourself to gain approval. Imagine the energy returns simply by becoming honest. Not brutally honest, compassionately honest. The body relaxes. Breathing deepens. The nervous system recognizes something extraordinary. I no longer need to hide. This is one of the greatest healings available to the human psyche. Not perfection. Visibility. To be seen without abandoning yourself. As this gate opens, creativity often accelerates. Books begin writing themselves. Music arrives unexpectedly. Art becomes more meaningful. Conversations become transformational. Teaching becomes effortless. Not because information has increased, because obstruction has decreased. The river now flows with much greater strength. The spine carries more charge. The heart remains open. The voice no longer interrupts the current through suppression. Energy continues climbing. This upward movement begins nourishing something extraordinary, the cranial system. For perhaps the spine has always served a deeper purpose than simply supporting the body. Perhaps it is the great river carrying life toward the brain itself. Each gate that heals allows more coherent energy to ascend. As the current reaches the base of the skull, the great network of cranial nerves begins receiving a different quality of information. Fear no longer dominates every signal. Survival gradually gives way to perception. Clarity begins replacing distortion. The world itself has not changed. The observer has. Now the river approaches one of its most mysterious transitions, the sixth gate, the place where perception itself becomes purified. Many believe awakening occurs because hidden knowledge is suddenly received. The sixth gate teaches something different. Awakening often happens because distortion finally dissolves. The truth has been present all along. The mind simply becomes quiet enough to perceive it. For when the voice becomes authentic, vision naturally follows.